Myself, Dr. A. N. Jagdale, Head Department of Chemistry, and today I am going to talk about the valence bond theory. Subtopic is inner orbital complexes and outer orbital complexes. Here, inner orbital complexes. Example is, suppose there is a formation of FeCN6 3- complex ion and hybridization is due to sp3 hybridization. Hybridization is due to sp3 hybridization. In this hybridization, the shape of that molecule is octahedral. Actually, this complex is in the form of ion, hence known as complex ion. In this complex ion, here central metal is iron, and iron has atomic number 26 and ground state electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, then 3d6, here 4s2 and 4p0. The charge on Fe is 3+. It is due to the on every cyanide ion there is -1 charge, here -6, and you know that charge is determined by algebraic sum +3 - 6 is equal to 3-, here is 3-. In this complex ion, charge on iron is equal to 3+, and 3+ means there is a loss of 3 electrons, and that loss is occur from the valence shell, and in valence shell electronic configuration is 3d5, then 4s0 and 4p0. Then according to the Pauli's and Slater's valence bond theory, when such type of arrangement is there, then atomic orbitals of central metal ion overlaps with the atomic orbitals of the same one, and there is a formation of hybrid orbitals. These hybrid orbitals are represented as 3D, means 5D orbitals are there, dxy, dxz, dyz, dx square minus y square and dz square. You know that 4s orbital is spherical in shape, and there are 3p orbitals px, py and pz, and these orbitals are represented in Fe3 plus ion. These are the 5d orbital, and electronic configuration is 3d5. In that 3d5, here filling of electron take place according to the Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. According to the Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, first of all there is a single filling, and then pairing will be start, and here 5 electrons are present in 3D, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. All electrons are unpaired. Then in 4s, here 0 electrons are there, and in 4p, you know that 4p orbitals are divided into 3p orbitals, means px, py and pz. When there is a formation of FeCN6 3- complex ion, then there is arrangement of electrons, and in that arrangement, here pairing start here. Here is these 5 electrons, and 2 pairs are formed there. Then 2 3d orbitals remain empty, 4s orbital is empty, and 3 4p orbitals are empty. These orbitals overlaps, and there is a formation of d2 sp3 hybrid orbitals. All these hybrid orbitals are equivalent. These hybrid orbitals are equivalent, and here one unpaired electron is present. The shape of this complex compound is octahedral, because here 6 ligands donate 12 electrons, and when 12 electrons are donated, there is a formation of here 6 sigma bonds. In this sigma bonds, when 6 sigma bonds are formed, iron is at the center position. Then 6 cyanide ligands, here C triple bond N, here C triple bond N, here C triple bond N, here C triple bond N is occur. One cyanide ligand is above the plane and second cyanide ligand is here below the plane, and this octahedral structure is formed. Actually, the shape of this complex ion is like this, and charge on complex is 3 minus. Here coordination number is equal to 6. Coordination number is equal to 6, and inner 3d orbital is used for the hybridization. Number of unpaired electrons is equal to 1, means n is equal to 1, and by using magnetic moment formula, mu effective is equal to under root of n into n plus 2, we can calculate the magnetic property. Single electron is there, therefore this complex ion is paramagnetic in nature, and hybridization is D2sp3. In that D2sp3 hybridization, 2 3d orbitals, 1 4s orbital and 3 4p orbitals overlap, and there is a formation of 6 equivalent D2sp3 hybrid orbitals. These 6 D2sp3 equivalent hybrid orbitals overlaps with the atomic orbitals of cyanide ligands, and 6 sigma bonds are formed. Therefore, the coordination number of iron is equal to 6. The complex ion is octahedral, and this is the shape of that octahedral complex. This is the shape, and charge on that complex is equal to 3 minus. This complex ion is paramagnetic in nature. Reason is that one single electron is present, and when unpaired electron is present, there is a determination of magnetic moment mu effective or mu. Here mu is equal to under root of n into n plus 2. Here n is equal to 1, and that value is about 1.73 bm. About 1.73 bm. Here bm means Bohr magneton, and this is inner orbital complex because inner 3d orbitals are used for the bonding. Second is outer orbital complex. Example is, suppose there is a formation of Fe, here F6 3 minus complex ion. Again in this complex ion, iron is central metal ion and atomic number is equal to 26, and ground state electronic configuration is here 3d6, 4s2 and 4p0. In this complex, charge on iron is equal to plus 3. Therefore, here Fe3 plus, there is a loss of 3 electrons, and in the valence shell, here 3d5, then 4s0 and 4p0 orbitals are there. Next to 4p, here 4d0 orbitals are also there, and these orbitals are represented by a box diagram. Here 5 3d orbitals containing 5 electrons, here 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and they contain single electron. All these 5 electrons are unpaired. Then next one is 4s. In this 4s, there is a 0 electron. Then next 3p orbitals px, py and pz here 4p0, and next there are 5 4d orbitals 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and that 4d orbital again contains 0 electrons. When such type of arrangement is there in Fe-F6, here 1 4s, then 3 4p and 2 4d orbitals overlap, and there is a formation of 6 equivalent sp3 d2 hybrid orbitals. Again, the shape of that complex is octahedral, and here 6 fluoride ligands donate 12 electron, means each ligand donate 2 electron, and that filling of electron is like this. And these are the 12 electrons. In Fe-F6 3- complex ion, 5 unpaired electrons are there. Fluoride ligand donate 12 electrons, and these 12 electrons are represented in 4s, then 3 4p orbitals and 2 4d orbitals, and here is a pairing of electron, and 6 sigma bonds are formed. In that 6 sigma bond, iron is at the center position. Then here is a fluoride ligand, here is a fluoride ligand, here is a fluoride ligand, here fluoride ligand, and here is fluoride ligand. These are the 6 fluoride ligands. Then actual arrangement is octahedral, and this is the octahedral structure. This complex is represented in square bracket. Reason is that 6 fluoride ligands are in first pair. They are in first pair. First pair means direct bonding is take place, and at the center position iron and charge on that complex is equal to 3-. Then when 3- complex is formed there, here number of unpaired electron means n is equal to 5. Therefore, mu effective magnetic moment is equal to under root of n into n plus 2, where n is equal to 5. That value is equal to here 7 multiplied by 5, that is equal to under root of 35, and that value is about to the 5.92 bm. If you prepare this complex ion and measure that magnetic moment, it is around to the 5.92 bm, and this is the example for outer orbital complex. Listen, here in Fe-F6 3-, again central metal ion is iron. The charge on iron is 3+. Atomic number is 26, and in the valence shell 3d6 4s2 4p 0 orbitals are present. Here charge on Fe is Fe3+, there is a loss of 3 electrons from that 6 and 2, and this is the valence shell electron configuration 3d5 4s0 4p0 and 4d0. By box diagram, that arrangement is shown in 3d5. 5 electrons are there, and filling of this electron take place according to the Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, means first single filling and then there will be pairing start. Then 4s orbital contain 2 electrons from the ligands 4p, from again fluoride ligand 6 ligands, and 2 4d orbital take 4 electrons from the fluoride ligands. There is overlapping of that Fe3+ empty orbitals, and first hybrid orbitals are formed sp3d2, and then there is a filling of that 12 electrons. When 12 electrons are there, there is a sharing of electron, and when sharing of electron take place, 6 sigma bonds are formed, and the structure of that complex iron is at the center position. 6 fluoride ligands are to the regular corners of the octahedron. Charge on complex is equal to 3 minus, coordination number is equal to 6, and number of unpaired electron is equal to 5. Mu effective means magnetic moment is equal to n into n plus 2. This is the formula, and by putting that value n is equal to 5, we get that value is equal to 5.92. That value is equal to 5.92. In FeF6, outermost 4d orbital is used for the bonding, and hybridization is sp3d2. Means in FeF6 3 minus, hybridization is sp3d2, and when inner orbital complex is used, the hybridization is d2sp3. Both complexes are octahedral. In first complex, here iron is again at the center position. In second complex, iron is at the center position. In both complexes, charge on iron is equal to 3 plus, but ligands attached are different. Here 6 fluoride ligands are attached, and here 6 cyanide ligands are used. Then in this complex, inner 3d orbitals are used. In this FeF6, outer 4d orbitals are used. Therefore, first complex is known as inner orbital complex, and second complex is known as outer orbital complex. Here in first one, n is equal to 1, therefore magnetic behavior is less, but this is paramagnetic. In second complex, n is equal to 5, and it is excessive paramagnetic in nature, because number of unpaired electrons in second complex is equal to more, and that value is equal to 5, and when magnetic moment value is calculated, that value is around the 5.92 bm. And these are the inner orbital complexes and outer orbital complex. This is the example. There are so many complexes. Next one is CR-CN6 3 minus. Next example for inner orbital complex is CR-CN6 3 minus. Here outer orbital complex NiH2O6 through 2 plus. That is the second example, and this is the example for the inner orbital complex, and this is the example for the outer orbital complex. Okay, that is the inner and outer orbital complexes according to the valence bond theory. Next point is formal charge according to the Pauli's and Slater valence bond theory, VBT. Next point is formal charge. Listen, what is meant by formal charge? Formal charge means the observed charge on metal ion minus the number of electrons donated by ligands, and that electrons are shared by central metal ion. Example is, suppose there is a formation of Fe H2O6 3 plus complex ion. In this complex ion, charge on iron is equal to 3 plus. Charge on iron is equal to 3 plus, and here plus 3, and number of electrons donated by ligand, here 6 H2O ligands are there, and shared electron is equal to minus 6. Therefore, formal charge is equal to minus 3 in FeH2O6 3 minus. Second example is when there is a formation of here Fe, then CN6 4 minus complex ion. In this complex ion, here 6 cyanide ligands having each charge minus 1, here minus 6, therefore here plus 2 is charge on iron. Then formal charge is here plus 2 minus 6, that is equal to minus 4. Like that, formal charge on metal ion is determined on the basis of observed charge on the metal ion minus shared electrons by the ligands. Next point is, when there is a formation of complex compound, there is electron neutrality. According to the Pauli's and Slater theory, when complex compounds are formed, then each atom in a molecule try to neutralize each other and atoms becomes neutral. Again, example is, suppose there is a formation of here Fe H2O6 3 plus complex ion. In this complex ion, here iron is at the center position. Then 6 water molecules are directly attached to the iron and charge on that complex is equal to 3 plus. Here is oxygen, here is oxygen, here is oxygen, oxygen, oxygen and oxygen. Then hydrogen atoms are attached. Okay, charge on complex is equal to 3 plus. Suppose this complex forms the covalent bond and that bond is covalent, 100% covalent bond. When there is electron neutrality, suppose there is a charge is equal to plus 1, then here plus 1, here plus 1, here plus 1, here plus 1 and plus 1, here 3 minus charge is there. Therefore, charge is equal to 3 plus. Therefore, charge is equal to 3 plus. Suppose on this oxygen, here charge is equal to plus 1 half. Total is equal to plus 1 half, plus 1 half, plus 1 half, plus 1 half. That is a plus 3. And at that time, charge on iron is equal to 0. And this type of situation is occur when 50-50% means 50% covalent and 50% ionic bond is there. When charge is equal to plus 1/4, at that time charge on this is equal to plus 1 half. Hydrogen charge is equal to 1/4. Here 1/4 plus 1/4 is equal to 1 half. 1 half, then 6 times 1 half is equal to plus 3, and that is a plus 3 charge, and there is electron neutrality means each atom in a molecule or complex compound try to neutralize each other, and it is called as electroneutrality principle. And this is the example for ApH2O6 3 plus having 100% covalent bond. When bonding is 50-50% of covalent and 50% ionic, and there is a neutrality of the what? Each atom in a molecule. Next point is here multiple bonding according to the valence bond theory. There is multiple bonding. Multiple bonding means formation of sigma bond and pi bond. You know that sigma bond is formed due to the linear overlapping of atomic orbitals, and pi bonds are formed due to the lateral overlapping, or overlapping is perpendicular means 90 degree. Here in coordination compound, two types of overlaps are there. One is here d pi, p pi overlap, and second type of overlap is equal to d pi and d pi type of overlap. Example is, suppose ligands like here carbonyl is there, CO, then PX3, halide ligands are there, then there is arsenic with R3 types of ligands are there. These ligands are electron donor as well as electron acceptor. Therefore, you know that carbonyl ligand is known as a pi acid ligand. In pi acid ligand, there is a d pi p pi type of overlap. Means first of all, there is a ligand to the metal electron donation and metal to the then ligand donation. Example is, suppose there is a formation of coordination compound of NiCO4. This is a neutral complex compound. NiCO4 is neutral complex compound. In this neutral complex compound, there is a nickel here double bond with CO. Then first bond is sigma bond and second bond is pi bond, and that overlap is d pi p pi overlap. Here d orbitals from the nickel metal, nickel has atomic number 28, and outermost d orbital is used for the bonding. Then here from the carbonyl ligand, carbon atom, here there is a bonding. Carbon has atomic number 6, and that p orbital overlap with nickel d orbital, and overlapping is known as d pi p pi type of overlap. Second is d pi overlap. Example is, suppose px3 types of ligand forms the bonds with nickel, and again here suppose there is Ni, then px3 thrice type of bonding is occur. Here nickel is there, then here is a double bonding, here is phosphorus, here one halide, then second halide, and here third halide. Sigma and pi bonding is occur there. Here phosphorus has atomic number 15, but for bonding it use next empty d orbital, and when that d orbital is used, that overlap is known as a d pi overlap. Means like carbonyl ligand, then phosphorus with 3 halide ligand, arsenic with R3 ligands, when they combine with d block elements like nickel, cobalt, copper, there is d pi p pi or d pi types of overlap and multiple bonding. Means nickel double bond with carbonyl ligand, nickel double bond with phosphorus ligand, etc. occurs, and there is a formation of sigma and pi bond. You know that sigma bond is formed due to the linear overlap, and pi bond is formed due to the lateral overlap, and such type of arrangement is occur according to the valence bond theory VBT. Then last point for the valence bond theory is, what are the limitations or disadvantages of valence bond theory? Last point is disadvantages or limitations of VBT, means valence bond theory. First limitation is, valence bond theory explains the molecular or coordination compound structure on the basis of only qualitative analysis. And not on the basis of quantitative analysis. Then second limitation is, here spectra are not explained by the valence bond theory. Then third limitation is, according to the valence bond theory, all d orbitals are degenerate. All d orbitals, you know that there are 5 d orbitals: dxy, dxz, dyz, dx square minus y square, and dz square. But when there is a formation of bonding, actually that degeneracy is what? Split into 2 sets. One is a T2G set and second is EG set. But according to that valence bond theory, you know that in box diagram that 5d orbitals are represented in degenerate, means same energies. That means energy terms are not explained properly by valence bond theory. Energy terms are not explained properly by valence bond theory. Then next, number 5, when there is a formation of coordination compound, various types of spins are there or fields are there, means strong field and weak field complexes are not explained. Here strong field and weak field complexes are not explained properly by valence bond theory. Then next 6 number, limitation of VBT is inner and outer orbital complexes are not explained properly by valence bond theory, and these are the limitations of VBT. Listen again. First, limitation. This theory explains the structure only on the basis of qualitative analysis and not quantitative analysis. Spectra are not interpreted by VBT. Then according to the VBT, 5d orbitals are degenerate, but actually when there is a formation of coordination compound, that 5d orbitals split into two sets, one is T2g and second is EG. That means energies of that complex compounds are not explained properly by valence bond theory. Then it also not explain the strong field and weak field in various types of coordination compound. And last one, here inner orbital and outer orbital complexes are not explained properly by the valence bond theory, and these are the limitations, means disadvantages of valence bond theory. And that is the end of our topic, that is valence bond theory. Thank you.